Ready when you are. Y'all present yourself.
Kodak Ban Yahweh Ban Yasharala.
Kodak Ban Yahweh Ban Yashab.
Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yashab Rakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yashab Rakatah. You got your Bible and all that real quick. Go ahead and grab that and make sure your phone's on mute too.
You grab that. I think it's funny.
All right, no swear. Love. Most High Christ. Most High Christ. La Yashala. Amadim, which means to stand. Wapanyaha Kwadam, and face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. East is this way right here. All right. The Lord's Prayer. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat
Shemayim.
Kudash.
Ayah.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Malakuka. Daba'a. Ratazaka. Ayah. Aisha. Baratasa. Kawa. Ayah. Bashamayim. Mathundanawa. Laham. It's like a laham. Cow. Yawam. Wasalak Nawa. Kabawak Nawa. Kasalak Nawa. Kabawak Yanawa. Wala'a. Dabaya'a Nawa. Dabaya'a Nawa. Banasayawad. Abo. Hawashai Nawa. Mayan. Right. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Waha'ala. Watapara. La Iwalamyam.
La
Iwalamyam. Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Akak, the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah. Baba Kusha. Nathundanawa. Hakak. Lavapa'a. Kamakala. Wakal Marawa. It's like it. Wakal Marawa.
Wakamadala.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Latahar.
Latazar.
Hamatazarayim.
Hamatazarayim.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lahakwiyam.
Lahakuyam.
Hamathiyam.
Hamathiyam.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Arahawa.
Awakara.
Hatama'ala.
Hatama'ala.
Lagarashan.
Lagarishan.
Bashim Yahushai.
Hashem
The
Yahushua.
water Aman.
The water Aman.
In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh
In
Shai,
the name of Yahweh.
please give us the power
Give us the
power to heal
power to heal
all manner of sickness
all manner of sickness
and all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease.
the power to cleanse the leprous,
The power to cleanse
the power to raise the dead,
the power to raise
the
the
power
dead.
against unclean spirits,
Power against unclean
to
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai,
In the name of Yahushua.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Asha'a,
Asha.
Ayanya,
Ayanya.
Ahohoyam,
Ahohar.
Ma'ayan,
Mayan.
Yaba'a,
Yaba'a.
Isaiah,
Isaiah.
Ma'ai,
Ma'ai.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Aisha,
Aisha.
Shemayim,
Shemayim.
Wa'arataza,
Wa'arataza.
Al Yatan,
Ayathar.
Lamawat,
Lamawat.
Regalka,
Regal.
Al Yanawam,
Al Yanawam.
Shamorka,
Shamarka.
Hana,
Hana.
La'a,
La'a.
Yanawam,
Yanawam.
Wala'a,
Wala'a.
Yayashan,
Yayashur.
Shawamor Yasha'ala,
Show you more Yashua.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Shamarka,
Shamar.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Tazalka, Al Tazalka,
Tazalka.
Ayad,
Ayah.
Yamyanka,
Yamyan.
Yawamam,
Yawamam.
Hashamash,
Hashemah.
La'a,
La'a.
Yakaka,
Yakal.
Wayarak,
Yawah.
Balayala,
Malaya.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Yashamorka,
Shamar.
Makarai,
Makarai.
Yashamor,
Yashamar.
Afnapashka,
After Pashka.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Yashamor,
Yashamor.
Tazahaka,
Tazahaka.
Wabawaaka,
Bubba Walaka.
Maita,
Maita.
Wa'ai,
Wa'ai.
Iwalam,
Wawalam.
Aman.
Amon.
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the
I
hills,
will lift up mine to the hills.
from which cometh my help.
From which comes my help.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help comes from your Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help coming from Yahweh.
which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth
will
thee
not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee,
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy
from
coming
this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew, Alahayim,
Alahai.
Al Damayalaka.
Al Damayat Yahweh.
It's like an Al Damayalaka.
Al Damayat La Yaka.
All right. Al Damayalaka.
Al Damayat Laka.
Al Dafarash.
Al the Karash.
Wa Al Dashakwat.
Wa Al Dashakwa.
Al
Al
Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awayab Yaka.
Ayayahuka.
Hayahama Yawan.
Yahama Yawan.
Wamashanayaka.
Woman Shinyaya.
Nasha'awa.
Nasha'ar.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al Aimaka.
Al Almika.
Ya'arayamwa.
Ya Ayaramwa.
So why?
So wow.
Wayata Ya'ai Tazawa.
Wayata Ya'aitazawa.
Al Tazapawanyaka.
Al Tazawapuka.
It's like an Al Tazapawanyaka.
Al Tazapawanyaka.
Amarwa.
Amar.
Lakawa.
Kawa.
Wanakakidam.
Wanakaki.
Magoya.
Magor.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yazaka.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Aiwad.
Aiwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa'ai Tazawa.
Naya Aitazawa.
La.
La.
Yakadwa.
Yakar.
Al Yaka.
Al.
Barya.
Barya.
Yakarakwa.
Yakaraki.
Ahoya.
Ahoy.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wayashama'alayam.
Woman Shimi Ya'ayilum.
Mawa'aba.
Mawayab.
Wahagoya.
Wayagar.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa'imawad.
Wayayimawad.
It's like Wa'imawad.
Wayayamawad.
Wa'imawad.
Wayamawad.
Wa'imawad.
Wayamad.
There you go. Wa'imalak.
Wayamalak.
Halashat.
Halashat.
I'm Yashabya.
I'm Yashabya.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gama Ashawar.
Gama Ashur.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Aimah.
Amar.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zawawad.
Zabawad.
Labanya Lawat.
Labamya Yawad.
Salat.
Salat.
Aisha Laham.
Ashaya Laham.
Kamadyan.
Kamadyan.
Kasaya Sara'at.
Kasaya Rala.
Kasaya Sara'at.
Kasaya
It's like a Kasaya Sara'at.
Kasaya Rala.
Kasaya Sara'at.
Kasaya Sara'ah.
Not ya. Kasaya Sara'ah.
Kasaya Sara'ah.
There you go. Kayabya.
Kayabya.
Banakao.
Banakal.
Koyashwan.
Koyash.
Nashamadwa.
Nashawat.
Ba'ayan Da'ara.
Baya'am Adara.
Haydawa.
Haydawa.
Dama.
Dama.
La Adama.
La Adama.
Shayatamwa.
Shayathoma.
Nadaya. Like it. Nadayab Mawa.
Naya'ab Dabawa.
Cut. Like it. Nadayab Mawa.
Naya'ab Bayawa.
Like it. Nadayab Mawa.
Naya'ab Bawa.
Like it. Mawa.
Naya'ab Mawa.
Ka'irab.
Kaya'ab.
Wakaza'aba.
Wakaza'ab.
Wakazabak.
Wakazabak.
Wakazalmanai.
Wakazalmanai.
Kal.
Kal.
Nasa Yakamwa.
Nasa Yakamwa.
Ashore.
Ashore.
Amorwa.
Amorwa.
Nayarasha.
Nayarasha.
Lanawa. Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Relax. Just listen and follow through. All right?
Calm down.
No sweat. All right. Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Na'ara.
Na'awa.
Alahaya.
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 Shayatamwa.
Shayathomwa.
Kagalgala.
Kagalgala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya Raka.
Lapanya Waka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Taba Ira Ya Ira.
Taba Wa'ira Ya'ira.
Wakalahaba.
Wakaba'ara.
Talahat.
Taya'a.
Haya.
Haya.
Khan.
Khan.
Tharadapma.
Tayadatma.
Basa Iraka.
Basa Iraka.
Wabasa Wapaka.
Wabasa Wapaka.
Daba Halam.
Tadaba Kawam.
Daba Halam.
Taba Halam.
Mala'a.
Mala.
Panyaham.
Panya.
Kwalawad.
Kwalawad.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wayabakwashwa.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wayabahalwa.
Wayabahawa.
Aya'ai.
Aya'ai.
Wayakhaparwa.
Wayakaparwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayada'aiwa.
Wayada'ai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Atha.
Atha.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labadka.
Labadka.
Al Yawan.
Al Yawan.
Al.
Al.
Kal.
Kal.
Arataza.
Arataza.
Aman.
Aman.
In the English, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not thou still, O Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult.
thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
And they that hate
have lifted up their head.
have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
and let them come to off from being a
That the name of Israel
the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They have confederate against
The tabernacles of Edom,
the tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites,
and the
of Moab,
and Moab
and the
and
Hagarenes,
Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon, and Amalek,
and
the
Amalek,
Philistines,
the Philistines,
with inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher also is joined with them.
Asher also is joined with them.
They have opened the children of Lot.
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah.
do unto them
Do it to them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as unto Syria,
as to Jabin,
as unto
as the
Japan,
brook of
and
Kasai,
the birth of Kasai,
which perished at Endor.
where parents are able.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as done for the earth.
Make the nobles like Oreb,
Make them nobles like
and
Oreb,
like Zaed,
and like Zed.
yea,
Yea,
all their princes,
all their princes,
as Zabah,
as Zabah,
and as Zamuna,
as the moon,
who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
the houses of Yahweh possession.
Oh, my power,
Oh my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
like the stubble before the
as
wind,
the fire burner for wood,
as the fire burner for
and
wood,
as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
So persecute them with thy tempest,
and make them afraid with thy storm.
and making them thy afraid with thy
Fill
storm.
their faces with shade,
Fill thy faces with
that
shame,
they may seek thy name.
that they may see that.
O Yahweh,
Oh Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded,
and troubled forever.
trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
in whose name alone,
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High,
art the Most High,
O Yah the earth.
O Lord of the earth.
So be it.
So be it.
The blessings in the Hebrew. Rakatha Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Wa Yahweh Shai,
Wa Yahweh Shah,
Wama Yaka'ala.
Woman Yakalala,
It's like it. Wama Yaka'ala.
Woman Yaka'ala,
Wa Alahaya.
Walahayim.
Matazab Ya'a.
Matazab ya.
Alawat Yahana.
Alawat Yahana.
Ha Alawatyam.
Ha alawat ya.
Hasaranyam.
Hasaram.
Hakudazayanyam.
Hakawizayam.
Hakuyayawyam.
Hakawiyayam.
Waha Agwakyam.
Wadi Akawakam.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim Yahushai.
Hashem Yahushai.
The water man.
The water.
In the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushai.
And Yahushai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angel.
And the angel.
Commanding General Yahana.
Commanding General
The
Yahana.
generals.
The general.
The captain.
The captain.
The officer.
The officer.
The trooper.
Trooper.
And the sister.
And the sister.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
All right. Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim Yahushai.
Hashem Yahushai.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wa Yasha'ala.
Wa Yasha'ala.
Wahaba Yasapayim.
Wahat Yah Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapat.
Rapat.
Magan.
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 Gun.
Bashim Yahushai.
Hashem Yahushai.
The water Aman.
The water Amon.
What we just said in the English, just me, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. Sar, which means to turn. All right? Yeshavim, which means to be seated. All to be seated. All right, Shalom, Israel, for the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahana. But this is the Sabbath service class. It's very, very important for Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to come to this Sabbath service. This is where you learn your culture. This is where you learn who you are. You understand? This is very important for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to come to class and come to the Sabbath service to learn their culture. All right. So let's get it. So we're going to be in Judges chapter 2. Right. We're going to get in Judges chapter 2, verse 1. All right. What Ya'ayo. All right. We're going to be in Judges chapter 2, verse 1, and we're going to get into the Hebrew. All right. All right. Also get Joshua. That's like not Joshua. Get Judges chapter 2, verse 1 in the English book of Quran. Right. You got me up.
Come.
Most times
Christ. True.
What Ya'ayo. Mala'ak. All right. It's like it. Mala'aka Yahweh man. Hagalagal. Al. Habak. It's like it. Habakim. Waya Amor. It's like it. Waya Amor. A'ila. The Afkam. Mama Tazarayim. Wa Abayah. It's like it. Wa Abayah. Afkam. Al. Ha'aratazal Shar. Nashabaifya. Right. La Abaf Yakam. Wa Amor. La Apar. Bara. That's like it. Barayafya. Afkam. It's like an Afkam. La Iwalam. Verse 2. Wa Atham La the Karafwa. Barayat. La Yawashabya. Arataza. Haza'at. Mazabakhawa. Yaham. Tada Tazawan. Wala'a Shemaitham. Bakwalya. It's like a Bakwalya. Ma. Za'at. Aishayakma. Verse 3. Wagam Amorthaya. All right. Amorthaya La'a. Agarash. Athma. Mapa. Like it. Mapanyakam. Wahayawa. Lakam. Lataza. Like it. Latazadya. Latazadima. Wa alahayaha. Like it. Wa alahaya ma. Yahayawa. Lakam. Lama like it. Lama wakwash. Verse 4. Wa Yahaya Kadabar. Like it. Kadabar. Mala'aka Yahawa Hadabarim. Ha'ala Al Kal Banya Yasha'ala wa Ya'awa. Like it. Wa Yasha'awa. Ha'aim Kawalam. Waya Bakwa. Verse 5. Waya Korawa. Sham. Hamakoram. Hawa'a. Bakyum. Was a back. It's like it was a backward. Sham. La Yahweh. Verse 6. Waya Shalak. Yahweh Shai. Ha'aim. Waya Lakwa. Banya Yasha'ala Ayash. Lanachal slaki not Lanachala what Larashah Rakaza. Verse 7. When ya ibad wa ha'aim af Yahweh kal yamya Yahweh shai wa kal yamya hazakwanyam ashar ha'arayak wa yamya acharya Yahweh shai ashar ra'a wa af kal ma'aisha Yahweh hagadawal ashar aisha la yasha'ala. All right, that's the verse 7. That's the first 7 verses. Go ahead and get it for me in the English. Start from verse 1.
Concur. And the angel of the Lord came up from Gilgal to Bochum.
Go ahead.
And said, I made you to go up out of Egypt, and I brought you unto the land which I swear unto your fathers.
Go ahead.
And I said, I will never break my covenant with you.
Now remember, the Lord made a covenant with the Israelites. He made a covenant with so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in the wilderness, right after we left Egypt. All right, and now we're in the land of Canaan. All right, we went to war, we went to battle with these other nations, and now we are establishing the nation of Israel. Now we are establishing our government that the Lord wants us to establish within this land right here. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And you shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land.
Go ahead.
You shall throw down their altars.
Go ahead.
But ye have now obeyed my voice.
He said what?
Ye have now obeyed my voice.
Go ahead.
Why have ye done this?
We did not do what we were supposed to do. Remember, we read in verse 1, it's like we read in chapter 1, in the last 2 Sabbath classes, how we did not follow the orders given by the Lord to completely take these nations out and wipe them out and push them out of this land. Instead, we made leagues with them, all right, and we made covenants with them, and they became second-class citizens in our neighborhoods, in our land, in our cities, in our towns, when the Lord did not authorize that. It may sound good that we're still in power. It sounds good that they are second-class citizens to us, but that was not the order that the Lord gave. Go ahead.
God. The book of Judges, chapter 2, verse 3. Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you.
Go ahead.
But they shall be as thorns in your side.
They shall be what?
They shall be as thorns in your side.
Go ahead.
And their God shall be a snare to you.
Shall be a what?
A snare to you.
Like this is what these other nations and their gods are going to be to us. A trap and a thorn in our side. You ever had a thorn? You ever something pricked in your side? I mean, this is what's going to cause you great pain and suffering. Like these other nations are going to cause you great pain and suffering, and you're going to be absolutely depressed, and you're going to go through so many problems because you did not wipe out these nations, and you did not push them out of your neighborhoods. You did not push them out of your cities and your towns, all right? And these gods are going to be a trap to you. They're going to be a trap. A trap is something that traps you in. That's a snare. A snare is a trap, meaning it's something that you're not going to be able to get out of it easily because it's a trap. Like Christianity, Judaism, Islam, like these are other gods that have been a trap to us even in America today. All right? Go ahead, keep reading that.
God, verse 4. And it came to pass when the angel of the Lord spake these words unto all the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voice and wept.
Mm-hmm. Now they wept. They were sad. They were depressed. They were upset. Why? Because they understood the pain and suffering they're about to go through. Because this is coming from the Lord. The Lord isn't going to take these nations out for us because the Lord already gave an order that we were supposed to push them out, and we did not. So now you're going to have to deal with it. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And they called the name of their place Bochum, mm-hmm. And they sacrificed there unto the Lord.
Go ahead.
Verse 6.
So they sacrificed to the Lord. Go ahead.
And verse 6. And when Joshua had let the people go, the children of Israel went every man unto his inheritance to possess the land.
So the children of Israel, they went into their parts that were separated for an inheritance. All right. Remember, lots were given. Judah over here, Benjamin over here, Gad over here, Simeon over here. They went where they were supposed to go. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And the people served the Lord all the days of Joshua, and all the days of the elders that outlived Joshua, who had seen all the great works of the Lord that he did for Israel.
Now, guess what? Now, this is where all the elders and the Israelites, all right, that outlived Joshua, all this stuff, all right, they served the Lord. The people served the Lord all the days of Joshua. When Joshua was there, they served the Lord. And the elders that outlived Joshua, when Joshua's dad served the Lord, like, who had seen all the great works of the Lord that he did. So who all seen the great works that the Lord did in the wilderness, and how the Lord seen all the great works, how he destroyed Egypt, and told Moses, you see those men behind you? All right, they're going to be no more. Like, they seen the great things that the Lord did, the splitting of the Red Sea, Joshua splitting the sea and going into the land of Canaan. Like, they seen all of this. All right, let's get into Hebrew. Let's start at verse 8. All right. Joshua chapter 2, verse 8. All right, Wayamaf Yahweh Shai Ban Nawan Ibad Yahweh Ban Slaki Ma'at Wa Aishar Shanyam, verse 9. Waya Kabar Slaki Waya Kabarwa Afwa let me see Bugabawao Nalachafwa Bataman that Harash, Bahar, Aparyam, all right, Aparyam, Matazap, Slaki Matazapwan, Lahar, Ga'aisha, Slaki Ga'aish, all right, Ga'aish. Verse 10, Wagam, Kal, Hadawar, Hahawa'a, Na'asap, Slaki Na'asap Wa'al, Abawafyawa, Wayaquam, like it can, Wayaquam, the war, Ahar Yaham, Ashar, Na'a, Yadawa, Yahweh, Wagam, Hama Aisha, Ashar, Aisha, La Yasha'ala. Verse 11, Waya Aisha, wa Banya Yasha'ala, Harai, Ba'ayanya, Yahweh, Waya Ibad, like it, Waya Ibad, wa Verse 12, right? Verse 12 in the Hebrew. Waya Izabwa Af Yahweh Slagya Alaya Abawatma Hamadazar. No, that's not Matazariah. Hama with Tazaya Ha'awat Slagya Afma Ma'arataza Matazarian, like it. That's Matazarian. Matazarian, Wayalakwa, Aharya, Alahayim, like Alahayim, Aharyim, Mala'a, like Ma'alaya, Ha'anyam, Ashar, Sabayab, like it. Sabayab wa Yaham. Waya like it. Waya Shafak wa Laham. Waya Ka'ais wa Af Yahweh. Verse 13. Judges chapter 2, verse 13. Waya Izab wa Af Yahweh waya Ibad wa Laba'al wala Aishaf like it. Wala Aishatharah wa wa like it. Wala Aishatharah. Verse 14. Wayakar at Yahweh Baya Sha'ala Wayathanma Bayad Shayayim Shash like a Shasha like a Shasayim Wayashasa wa like a Wayashasawa Afma Wayakam like it Wayamakarma Bayad Awayab Yaham Masabah like it Masab like it Masabayab Wala'a Yakalwa Ibad La Imad La Panya let me see Awayab Yaham. All right, go ahead and read for me, starting at verse 8. Verse 8.
God. And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died being 110 years old.
So Joshua, Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew, he lived until how old?
110 years old. Go ahead. Verse 9. And they buried him in the border of his inheritance in Timnath-Heres, in the mount of Ephraim, on the north side of the hill Gaash.
And remember, Joshua was a Ephraimite. He was a so-called Puerto Rican. Go ahead.
God. Verse 10. And also that generation were gathered unto their fathers. Mm-hmm. And there arose another generation after them, which knew not the Lord.
And with what?
That which knew not the Lord.
There was a generation that did not know the Lord. They did not know the great works that the Lord did, destroying Egypt, literally taking fish and bread out of the air, all right, making a staff bloom in the temple with no water, no nothing. Like they did not know the Lord. They didn't know the great works of the Lord. They didn't see the angel with us coming into the land of Canaan in a big giant cloud, and we were destroying nation after nation and going to war after war with these nations because the Lord ordered to wipe these nations out. They didn't see this. There was a generation that did not know the Lord. All right, like there was a generation that did not see the black community being great and having our own businesses and being successful, and fathers in the home and mothers being mothers and not the monsters that they're today. Like there's a generation that did not see that. All right. Just like that. Go ahead.
God. Nor yet the works which he had done for Israel. Mm-hmm. Verse 11. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord and served Balaam.
So here we go. The children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord and served some other God. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And they forsook the Lord God of their fathers.
So they forsook the God of their fathers. They did not obey what they were supposed to obey and do what they were supposed to do. Go ahead.
God, which brought them out of the land of Egypt.
Go ahead.
And follow other gods.
Go ahead.
And of the gods of the people that were round about them.
Like, remember, the Lord said they're going to be a snare unto us. Right? The Lord said they're going to be a trap. They're going to be a thorn in our side. Go ahead.
God. And bow themselves unto them and provoke the Lord to anger.
Provoke the Lord to anger. That's the thorn in your side right there. The Lord, and once you provoke the Lord in anger, now there's the thorn in your side. Now you're going to suffer the consequences. Now you're going to suffer for not listening and obeying the Lord that we were supposed to do from the very beginning. Go ahead.
Verse 13, and they forsook the Lord and served Baal and Ashtaroth.
Go ahead. Those are just names of other gods. Go ahead.
Verse 14, and the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel.
It said what?
And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel.
What?
Was hot against Israel.
Like that's black people talk right there. The Lord was hot. That's the Lord. That's the Lord was hot. I remember your dad back in the day said, "Man, you just made me hot. Mama was hot with you because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Man, you getting me heated. I'm hot." All right. This is how black people talk. This is a black man's book. Continue reading that.
God. And he delivered them into the hands of the spoilers that spoiled them.
Like this right here is the thorn in your side. A spoil is something that you take after war. Right? After a battle, after a fight, after war, spoil is something that you take after a war. And so the spoils that spoiled them, meaning these other nations, they spoiled us. They went to war with us, they destroyed us, and they took us for spoil. Go ahead.
God. And he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about.
Because this is what happens. This is the thorn in our side, all right? For following after that snare that the Lord told us not to not do. Go ahead.
So that they could not any longer stand before their enemies.
Meaning we were weak. We were not strong. We cannot win. Go ahead.
Whatsoever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them for evil. As the Lord had said.
Oh, Salaki, that was verse 14, right? Oh God, Salaki, that was it. Salaki about that. Salaki. All right, so we're going to continue next week, all right, when it comes to the book of Judges, all right, and we're going to continue this story. Like Judges actually teaches you the history of Israel and how when there was no king, and all right, and the judges ruled, and how important it is to serve the Lord. Judges is a great book to learn the history, all right? Joshua from Judah, the entire Bible is great, all right, but historically speaking, you want to read from Genesis to Judges, pretty much, all right? And come to class and learn the breakdown from Genesis all the way to Judges. Historically speaking, that's where the majority of our history is and the foundation of creating Israel. It's not until you get into Samuel, all right, and First Samuel, Second Samuel, all right, First and Second Kings, and First and Second Chronicles is when you learn the history of our kingship and how we ruled and we had a complete established nation. All right. So it's very, very good. All right. With that, I say Amadi, which means to stand, just us up here.
Ayashala.
This will be the time that the men of Israel, all right, will come and salute the Torah. Amadu, which means to stand. Everyone can now stand. And face the east. Right? The east is this way right here. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat
Shabashmaya.
Wadash.
Wadash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Malakuka.
Malakuka.
Daba'a.
Daba'a.
Ratazaka.
Ratazah.
Hayah.
Kaya.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Barataza.
Barataza.
Tawa. Hayah.
Hayah.
Shemaya.
Mashmaya.
Nathanawa.
Nathanawa.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Cow. Yawam.
Wasalakanawa.
Kabawafnawa.
Kabawaknawa.
Kabawafnawa.
Kabawaknawa.
Wala'a.
Kabaya'anawa. Kabaya'alanawa.
Kabaya'anawa.
Kabaya'alanawa.
Manasayawan.
Wayasabi'an.
Abal.
Yawashaynawa.
Mayan.
Ayan.
Right.
Kaya.
Laka. Amalakwa. Waha'ala.
Wala'ala.
Watapara. La'awalamyam.
La'ayalularam.
La'awalamyam.
La'awalamyam.
There you go. So it's
La'ayalamyam.
Hold on. Say la.
Ya.
No. Repeat exactly after me. So
La.
Awalam. Yam.
Awalamyam.
There you go. Aman. Our Father. So in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Right. The power. Also remember, you always want to continue facing east. All right. All right. Hakat, the power in Hebrew, Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Babu Kusha. Nathanawa. Hakak. Lava Ba'a. Wakal Madawa. Hakat. Latahar. Hamadizariah. Hakat. Lahakwiyam. Hamakyam. Hakat. Arachawa. Fatima Allah. Lagarashad. Ba'ashem Yahusha. Wada Aman. In the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Asha'a, Ayanya, Ahoharya, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Ma'ay, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemaiah, Wa'arakaza, Al Yathan, Lamawat, Lamawat, there you go, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, like it, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashab, Shawamor, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makarai, Yashamor, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamor, Hazahaka, Wabawaaka, Maita, Wa'id, Awalam, Aman. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills, from which cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. God. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall not slack it. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. From this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al damayalaka. Al damayalaka. Al Tacharash. Wa al Dashakwat. Al Kayahana. Awayabyaka. Yahama Yawan. Wama Shanayaka. Nasha'awa. Ra'ash. Al Aimaka. Ya Irayamwa. Ya Irayamwa. So why? Wayata ya ai tazawa. Al tazapawanyaka. Amarwa. Lakawa. Wanakakidam. Magoya. Wala'a. Yazakor. Sham Yasha'ala. Aiwan. Kaya. Nawa ai tazawa. La. Yakadwa, Aljaka, Baryat, Yakarafwa, Ahoya, Adawan, Wayashama Aliyah. Like what? Face east. Always face east. All right, this is a skill to practice you listening. All right. Wayashama Aliyah. There you go. Mawa'aba. Wahagoya. Gabal. Wa'aimawan. God, it's like it. What I'm a one. What I'm a lock. Palashat. I'm the Shabya. Tazawar. Gama Ashawar. Nalawa. Imam. Hajawa. Zabawai. Labanya Lawat. Salat. Aisha Laham. Kamadya. Kasaya Sara'a. So like it. Kasaya Sara'a. You're adding like an ah there. Kasaya Sara'a. You're adding it again. Kasaya Sara'a. You say ya'a. It's just ya. Kasaya Sara'a. There you go. Kayabyan. Banakal. Kwayashwan. Nashamadwa. Ba'ayan da'ara. Like it. Ba'ayan da'ara. Hayawa. Daman. La Adama. Shayatamwa. Narayab Mawa. Like it. Narayab Mawa.
The what?
Ka'irab. Wakaza'aba.
Wakaza'aba.
Wakazabak.
Wakazabak.
Wakatazalmanai.
Wakazazamana.
Cow.
Ka.
Nasa Yakamwa.
Nasa Yakamwa.
Ashar.
Ashur.
Amarwa.
Amor.
Nayavasha.
Nayurasa.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Na'awa.
Naawa.
Alahaya.
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 Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Kagalgala.
Kagawa.
Kakwash.
Kakwa.
Lapanyavaka.
Lapanglo Ka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Daba'ira Ya'ira.
Yara.
There you go. What kalahaba?
Wakalaaba.
Dalahat.
Sayah.
Haryam.
Har.
Khan.
Khan.
Saradapma.
Sayadapma.
Basa Irika.
Basa Arika.
Wabasa Wapaska.
Wabasa Wapaka.
Daba Halam.
Double Halam.
Mala'a.
Mala.
Hanyaham.
Hanya.
Kwalawa.
Kwalawan.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wabawakwash.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabash.
Wayabahalwa.
Wayabahawa.
Aya'ai.
Ayai.
Wayahaparwa.
Wayakapor.
Wayabadwa.
Wayababad.
Wayada'aiwa.
Wayabadaiwa.
There you go. Kaya.
Kaya.
Atha.
Ata.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labadka.
Labak.
Al Yawan.
Al Yuwan.
Al.
Al.
Kal.
Cow.
Rataza.
Right.
Aman.
Alman.
In the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
For lo,
lo,
thine enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
and they that hate
have
thee
lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said, Come,
and
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel,
may
be no more in remembrance.
May be no more in
For
remembrance.
they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
the tabernacles of Edom,
the tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
and Moab,
and the Hagarene,
and
Gabal,
and Gabal,
and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher also is joined with them.
Asher also is joined with them.
They have opened the children of Lot.
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them.
Do it to them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As unto Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As unto Jabin.
At the brook of Kasai.
The brook of Kasai.
Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make the nobles like Oreb.
Make the nobles like Oreb.
And like Zered.
And like Zered.
Yea. All their princes.
All their princes.
As Zabah.
And Zabah.
And as Amunah.
As Amunah.
Who said, let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves.
The houses of Yahweh in possession.
The house of Yahweh in possession.
Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth for wood.
As the fire burns.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
As the flame setteth the mountains
so
on fire.
persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with
that they may seek thy name.
They may seek thy name.
Oh, thy name.
Thy name.
Oh Yahweh.
Oh Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
And troubled forever.
And troubled forever.
Yea. Let them be put to shame.
And let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou. Whose name alone. Is Yahweh. Art the Most High.
Art the Most High.
Over all the earth.
Over all.
So be it.
So be it.
The blessings in the Hebrew. Rakatha Yahweh.
Rakatha Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shah.
Wa Yahweh Shah.
Wa Mayaka'ala.
Wama Aka'ala.
There you go. Wa Alahaya.
Wa Alahaya.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Matazaya.
Alawat Yahana.
Alawat Yahana.
Ha Alawatyam.
Ha Alawatyam.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Kudazayanyam.
Ha Kudazanyam.
Ha Kuyayawyam.
Ha Kuyayawyam.
Wa Agwafyan.
Wa Agwafyan.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
By Hashem Yahushua.
By Hashem Yahushua.
The water a month.
The water a month.
In the English, bless you Yahweh.
Bless you Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels. Commanding General Yahana.
Commanding General
Yahana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it. All right, the prayer of the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven
and all things living.
And all things.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and
to the
destruction.
heathen. That speak against us. Thy prophets. The teachers. The princes. The priests. The Israelite brothers. And the schools. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. And shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel. That refuse to give to the school. Force their riches. To enter thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses. and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nation and the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Egyptology, Aryan nation, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airways, the cable access channel, and the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it's the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh, thank you always. So be it. Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh. Barak Lanawa. Wa Yasha'Allah. Waha Ba'yah Saparya. Barak. Rafa. Magun. Hagun. Ba'ashem Yahweh. Throughout our month. What we just said, just me. Yahweh in the name of Yahweh. Bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahweh, thank you, so be it. Sar, which means to turn. Right? Remember, you want to do it on command. All right. Sar, which means to turn. Yeshab for the sisters. The sisters can now be seated. All right, men of Israel. I want to encourage you to the brothers. Men of Israel. Amadim Shabbat. Amadim Barak. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Brakathon. Yadim Matah. Saw La'agwakim. Amadim to the sisters. Now the sisters can now be stand. So the sisters can now stand. Men of Israel, we can encourage you to the sisters. Men of Israel. Amadim Shabbat. Amadim Barak. Yahweh Shemar Alathon Ba'ashem Yahweh. Yadim Matah. Sorry in turn. With that, class dismissed.